Tonight, we are going to discuss what it takes to earn a woman's trust, adoration, and everything like that. And it's not really the trust that you might think. We might open up the phone lines later, but for now, the panel discusses that next. The six starts right now. What's up, guys? Oh, wait a minute. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of The Six. I, of course, am joined by all of my esteemed panelists. I don't know if can they hear me? Oh, they can hear me. Okay. I was a little bit slow on the uptake there. Thank you guys all for joining us. We have an absolute fire topic today, man. I'm very, very much looking forward to getting into this. But before we get started, let us go ahead and introduce tonight's esteemed panel. First up, the man out of the 312 who is the best dressed, best smelling, and has the cleanest studio of us all. That is Coach Everett Overton. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody back in here. BOA, what's good? Kevin, Hotep, of course, Donovan. I think we're missing Jap today, but we'll do our best without him. But I'm here representing my brand, Champion Game. Great topic. This is kind of like a topic that I think I'll thrive well in. And so good to see everybody. Shout out to the chat room. Let's get going.
All right, good stuff. And I'm told that Jap is in the back room, so we'll get to him in just a minute. Next up from the Dirty South, he is the guy who runs Straight Pimp Game. I don't even know if that's legal, but he is the Book of Alpharonomy. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's good? Hey, man, y'all in for a great show tonight, man. We're going to touch on some topics that is bound to inform all of us of some things that either we don't know or hadn't thought about. And, I think it's a great topic for men tonight, man. So peace to my esteemed panel. Glad to be back for another season, another show. Let's get it. All
right. Excellent. Next up, the man who has more startups than a Stanford dropout. It's Hotep Jesus. What's going on, man?
That Hotep Jesus dude.
Yo, I'm here. And I gotta say something, man. I was thinking about this week. One day I'm gonna build my version of a Mount Rushmore. What? And the individuals on this Mount Rushmore are going to be the individuals that contributed to my success. And one of those people is Donovan Sharpe.
What?
I mean, Donovan, like,
wow.
You hear that a lot? You realize, like, you gave me a look when nobody would give me a look. First of all, we all know I'm banned from left mainstream media. I'm banned from right mainstream media.
Of course.
So I'm going to have to depend on independent media.
Hashtag Starbucks.
And most people feel threatened by me,
right?
And you're like such a masculine man that you don't feel threatened by any of us, which means you're able to work with us. And you've put me on, so I'm here to give my best every single Sunday to you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Bootlicking, buck dancing, shuffling.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. The interesting thing is, Hotep, I remember when I reached out to you on Twitter. I didn't expect you to get back with me because you'd been on Rogan. You hit me the next day. I run downstairs. I'm like, Devin, Hotep Jesus just tweeted me. He just shot me a tweet. Like, what do I do? It was incredible. But listen, man, I'm glad to call you a friend, and you've been nothing but good to me, man. So anything you ever need from me, man, I got you covered, brother.
Cheers, bro.
Next up, the youngest guy on the panel. Now, I've heard some people say that the six isn't the same now that we got these white dudes on.
The whites.
The white dudes on the panel. Guess what? You guys can all go fuck yourselves. Kevin Savo is here to stay. What's going on, brother?
What's up? Bringing in the whites. And, yo, I'll actually piggyback on what I'll give a little Donovan praise too, man. Yo, really, Donovan is one of those cats that if he believes in what you're doing, he's with it. I don't think there's many people like that. There's like, well, where's your credentials and where's your level of success and your level of views? But Donovan came out. I don't even know if you guys know because it's not out yet. Donovan came out and did my sitcom, acted in my sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
Acted for the first time, trusted me to direct him and get him through it just because he had like heard that like there might be potential in something we're doing.
Yeah, man.
And the day we met, we do a podcast and then filmed a sitcom.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. I don't know, man. Something and I'm not some talent evaluator, and I'm gonna have to put the camera just on me because I gotta do some things in the background to make sure I get Jap in here. We'll introduce him in a second, but it doesn't take me long to. I guess, figure out the talent. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's to me. Let me get up out of here on this one. To me, wait. Perfect. To me, talent is not. It's not hard for me to spot. If I see that someone is good at what they do, if I see that they believe in what they talk about and that they know what they talk about, it doesn't, like, I don't need anyone to have a bunch of subscribers for me to say, hey, let's work together. Because if you guys remember, the original 6 was myself, Solo TV 84, Mr. Lucario, Kevin Samuels, and Myron Gaines. Well, guess what? Kevin Samuels is now mainstream. Myron and Fresh, they're going to have 500,000 subscribers, and I'm not taking credit for anyone's success. But I remember when Myron used to be a federal agent. I remember talking to him years ago. I was like, "Yo, dude, listen, you have a real chance to make an impact. Like, if you decided to stop working for Uncle Sam, you could really do some damage." He took the plunge, and if I hadn't discovered Myron Gaines, trust me, someone else probably would have. So I appreciate you guys, giving me props and all that, but you guys are the types of dudes who would have found a way with or without me. I just figured, you know what, I'll be the conduit. And I'm a lot more generous with my time and my platform than I'm advised to be. And dude, Kevin Samuels gets on me about this all the time. He's like, yo, these people should be paying you and this and that. And I'm like, I know, but it's just not the way I am. I'm never going to take anyone for granted. I'm never going to take credit for anyone's success. In the end, you guys are the ones doing the work. Last but not least, it is the man, the myth, the legend. I was actually watching your your live show today while I was working out. You out here cooking these broads. It's Minister Jap.
Oh man, it's always a blessing, man. Much love to Donovan, man. Donovan, you definitely got a knack for talent. I definitely got to salute you for that. You always put us all together. You like the DJ Khaled of YouTube, so we definitely got to salute you. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely in the building. We definitely ready to work, man. Let's go.
Good stuff. Really, to be honest with you, I just like working with good people. That's the way I see it. You guys are all good people. I mean, you guys are all respectful of my time, and you guys give up an hour and a half of your time every single weekend to come on here and run your mouth with me. So trust me, the feeling is mutual. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about today's topic. Now, what the title of the show is, and I've already forgotten what the title of the topic is. Yes, right. Gaining her respect, her trust, and adoration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the panel, and I want each one of you to tell me which do you think is the most important: trust, adoration, or respect, and what the number one thing is to gain that trust, respect, or adoration. Let's start with EO first. Trust, respect, or adoration, which is the most important, and what's the first thing a man needs to do to get that from her?
Okay, so for me, it starts with respect, because the other things will follow.
There you go.
So adoration is going to follow.
Yep.
Clearly you got to have sexual attraction. I'll be the first to tell you that if the two of you, or at least she's not sexually attracted to you, it's gonna be hard for her to do any of those things for you. The number one thing that jumps out at me to get those things is follow through. Okay, no matter what you say, you have to do it. Here's another thing: be the opposite of her in every way. Okay, so the complete opposite. So when she's goofy, you're stoic. Okay, and what I mean by goofy, not a complete goofball, but you know how women are. So let her be a woman, and as she's around you, she'll become a little bit more like you. If you tell her you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Yes. When she's stressed out, feeling sick, kind of having these like female complaints and kind of seeking your attention, be the guy that's calm and has a solution. So at the end of the day, in order to get that respect, adoration, and trust, she has to here's the other thing real quick before I get in that part. Yeah, go ahead. You have to trust yourself. Okay, you have to adore yourself. Okay, adore yourself, trust yourself, respect yourself. It begins and ends with demand. So if you're those three things before you meet her, and then you're constantly demonstrating that, and constantly is probably a heavy word. I mean, you want to do it as much as possible. We're all human.
Sure.
But and then she'll have no choice but to follow your lead. So if you're flaky, that's what women do. Don't be flaky.
Right.
If you lie, that's what women do. Don't lie. Okay. Live a life you're proud of.
Okay.
And so that's where I'll start with that. Respect comes first, because if she's sexually attracted to you, she's got to be she ain't going to respect you if she's not sexually attracted to you. So sexual attraction's got to be there. Once you see that there's some sexual attraction, now respect should come first, and then adoration and love and trust and all that stuff is going to follow.
I don't think there's too much meat on the bone. BOA, what you got, man? What is the most important thing to you? Respect, trust, or adoration? And how do you get that in the beginning?
Of course, I think maybe everyone is going to say respect. I know I am, so that makes
absolutely
2 out of 2 so far. Respect is at the top of the totem pole when it comes to your interaction with a woman. But I think that it's more about not losing those things than it is about gaining them. Because if you're at a certain point with a woman is not going to go to a certain point with you if she doesn't have a level of respect, a level of adoration, a level of all of these other things. So it's more about you being who you present yourself as from day one, kind of building up what EO said. If you're this way, I mean, if you're an asshole, be an asshole. If you're a nice guy, don't be a nice guy. But if you're a nice guy, you can only be who you are. And that's with anyone, men as well as women. Everyone expects you to be who you present yourself as, and you stand on cue regardless. Now, when it comes to the other things, adoration and all of those things are so fickle, because if there's a certain level of respect, then the woman just follows your lead.
Okay.
It's almost like having a little puppy. And I do mean having a little puppy. You ain't gonna put the broad on a physical leash, but there's an emotional leash and a mental leash that unless you're into that type of shit. Right? You never know. Yeah, but I truly believe that when a man first interacts with a woman, it's just about the presentation that you have from the beginning. You have to be the most authentic version of yourself. And in the alpha sphere, we call it the most alpha version of yourself. And another thing, you have to be constantly improving, not for the broad, because that's what we do as men. Right. If a woman sees you and, building off, I'll go back to something EO said, I think in the first show. It may have even been last season when EO said this. The woman has to look up to you.
Yes.
If she doesn't look up to you, there is no respect. That's what respect is. I respect my dad because I've always looked up to him. If you got a dad that wasn't shit, you don't respect him because, he never earned that respect. And I truly believe that a woman's, with her outlook on you, has to be almost like a father figure. Like she has to view you as the transference of her respect and everything else that her reverence and everything transfers from her father to you. That's why I don't deal with women who don't have a positive relationship with their father and didn't grow up with their father in the home, because that woman's pretty much a lost cause unless you just want to. Unless you're a real pimp out there on the turf and you want to put her to work or something. But as far as building in your life, I don't think she'll fit.
Okay, very good, man. Oh man, you guys are coming with the pain tonight. Jap, respect, trust, or adoration?
Man, a lot of the shout out to EO, shout out to Book of Alpharonomy. They both said the same thing that I would have said. Definitely respect. I want to say this though. You said the admiralty, that's more of a puppy dog honeymoon phase.
Okay.
That could come and go with respect. Like, and again, Book of Alpharonomy took it out of my mouth. I was gonna say being an authoritative person and a parent type figure. Respect. I respect my parents. There was a lot of times I didn't like them, I didn't adore them, but I respect what they were, the power, what they were capable of doing. And what their position was.
Okay.
And it was to my benefit. Respecting them only made me benefit later in life. And I respect other authorities, because one thing that a lot of women don't understand is that a man is greater than them if they have a real man, not just a male. See, sometimes they just have babies by males and things like that. But when you're dealing with a real man, a man that's holding down his whole situation and can hold down your situation and you're adding to his situation, you should have respect and respect him as an authoritative figure in your situation because he's doing the thinking for you.
Okay.
So I would definitely say respect is the most important thing because everything else is gonna come. You're gonna admire and you're gonna once you respect somebody.
Okay.
But if you don't have any respect, you're gonna be trying to demand her to admire you, demand her to trust you. Now, when she respects you, she won't question you.
Right.
And a lot of women get it messed up is when you speak about submission, they think of it as like, yo, these guys are insecure. They're trying to make me a slave. Like, no, we just want you to be agreeable. Submission just means you agree.
Yes, right.
When it's time to agree and you agree to a power that's greater than you. And this particular power that's greater than you, that's leading you, you should respect because you respect your employer. You know
That's
that your check is going to be there on every Friday,
That's
every
right.
other Friday. So give us the same respect.
Okay, good. Very good. Hotep, respect, trust, or adoration?
I'm going to bookworm on this.
Okay, let's do it.
So I looked up the definition of respect because I didn't know what the book definition was. And it says a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And after I read that, I was like, I don't even think that's what we mean when we use the word respect. So I started to ask myself, well, what is it that we're actually saying that we're looking for? And what I find is that we're looking for someone to exalt, glorify, are the two main words. But then there's something deeper to this. Really, what respect comes down to, in the manner that we use it, is the willingness and or desire to trust in following someone else's leadership.
I got you.
If someone is willing or can trust your leadership, that is what we're talking about as a definition of respect.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what you're saying, and don't worry, I'll have everybody back on the screen. Looks like Jap dropped off. So what you're saying is respect is, so it's almost as though trust and adoration are both derivatives of respect. Is that accurate?
Yes, trust and adoration, like EO said, they sort of come under the umbrella of respect, right?
Okay.
But I think what we're really talking about here is respect is saying, if worse came to worse, right? Like, for example, I respect Donovan. I respect EO. I respect BOA. And I respect Savo, right?
Okay, right.
But there's another level of respect where we can say, if all else failed, could I trust EO to lead? Could I trust BO to lead? Could I fall back, capitulate, and say, you know what, BOA lead this? Now, Savo, because of his age, I might not be able to take to that level of respect. Sure. Just because, but I'd feel a lot safer letting Savo lead us than a whole lot of other men out here, right? Because I've seen him on the gram, right? So it's the ability to trust in someone else's leadership. Also, respect comes down to its opposite.
Okay.
Right? That's really what we're saying is someone won't disrespect me. Call me out my name, steal my stuff.
Right?
So we're saying is someone's willingness or desire to do right by you is probably the elite definition of respect as we mean it.
So elaborate on someone's willingness to do right by you, because I think that takes definitely a level of trust and respect.
Yes.
So when a woman wants to do right by you, how important is that in a relationship? Because we know women do men dirty all the time as a matter of habit. So when you have a woman who wants to do right by you on purpose for no other reason but that it's the right thing to do, to me, that's a beautiful thing, no?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I want to use this example. Savo. He's got arms like Hulk Hogan, right?
Okay, right.
Few dudes are going to try and test him. So what you're saying is they respect his strength. So they're not going to do anything wrong or blatant because they might get their butt kicked.
Right.
Jat from Chicago. he might bust a cap in your ass.
Whoa. Allegedly.
Look, listen. He's like, wait, hold up.
Allegedly. EO, he carries himself a certain way.
Right.
It makes you say, I'm not going to do anything wrong to this dude because he carries himself in such a way that I don't even know how he going to react.
Right.
You know, he might shoot the spot up, or he might have somebody else shoot the spot, or he might like
He's in the mafia. He's in the mafia.
Yeah, right. That mob feel. Like he's sitting there like Dr. Claw. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Inspector Gadget. I love it.
You never know what happened. And BOA gonna catch you with the pimp hand.
Real talk.
You know, so a part of fear is, part of respect is fear.
I agree. I totally agree.
Fear the repercussions that come for crossing another individual.
Man,
it's deep. Man, respect gets real deep, man. It's so many layers to it.
I gotta say this, Don.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just about to say that he took the words out of my mouth about fear. There's an acute level of fear that comes with respect.
Yes.
This is why a lot of women do the world for felons.
Yes, absolutely.
The guys fresh out of prison, like you be like, that. Why does she let this guy live in her house? She gives him a car. Do it because there's a level of fear. He's respected more than your average working class guy. You're like, he has nothing going on, but
it's a damn shame.
His manhood exudes because he comes from that environment where he has to, be a gorilla. But when he comes out and he's dealing with certain women, and you see women dealing with the bikers, because it's the bikers too.
Yep.
You see them dealing with that. There is a level of fear that comes with respect. I feared my father because the administered ass whoopings that he would give me if I screwed up. And a lot of us know that if you had a military father, like, you don't talk crazy. You watch your mouth. Right. But you respect them. And what came with that respect, that they honor the role. It wasn't just like abuse or anything like that, but there is a small level of fear that women should have from an authoritative state in a sense, like this is almost like a parent. I don't want to lose him, and I definitely don't want to get on his bad side. So let me do the world.
Hey, real quick, Donovan, if you don't mind if I get a 10 second.
Sure, go ahead, man.
I always talk about fear being a very good thing to swirl into the relationship. Fear, you got to have fear.
Absolutely.
And here's a big reason why women love a man they fear, because it's tremendously exciting.
Yep.
Okay. There's a lot of excitement in chaos. Okay. Yep. Just know that right now.
Yes, there is.
When they're smooth sailing, you might enjoy it for a minute, but it's when you get them rocky waves. There's some weather on the way. There's a little excitement that comes when there's fear present. So, and also it brings the best out in you when there's fear. Fear. I personally, I love fear. Fear is like my best friend. I run to fear because I always know there's something to learn on the other side of fear. So just keep that in mind. Women know that when they're with the man that they fear, that they're going to learn something. There's going to be excitement with that man too. And women love that sort of thing.
Good stuff. Savo, what are your thoughts on respect? Let's see, respect, and listen. If respect is the first thing, that's fine. But respect, trust, and adoration in the order of importance. Which one is number one to you, and how do you get that?
Well, all three things are so differently depending on your mindset. And when this topic came up, the first thing that came to mind is how a blue pill cat might misinterpret the idea of respect and trust.
Okay.
Certainly, I would say I'll put a different spin on it, since everybody said I don't want to say everything that's like along the same lines of what's been said. So I'll put a little bit of a different spin on it, what comes to mind. And what certainly comes to mind is a blue pill cat thinking in terms of trust, developing trust with your woman. You can certainly see a really beta, confused type thinking. Trust just simply means like, babe, I would never do this or that. I would never cheat, or I would never. You can trust me. Basically, I'm not interesting enough to get pussy, so like you don't ever have to worry about anything with me. Go. Like, and you've seen a lot of that thing. Now, when it comes to trust and respect, when my age gets brought up, it just mainly reminds me that like I'm here because I'm an observer. For the main thing, I'm just trying to be the young teachable cat by looking at the mistakes of virtually everybody that we grow up around, parents, uncles, aunts. Everybody fucks up in the same way, and I had to learn by watching my father fuck up. I had to learn by watching him, like, watch how this man moves and watch how it directly affects the level of respect my mother has for him. And then it directly reflects her. It adds on to her behavior. It causes her behavior in certain ways because she's balancing off of that. So respect, I think, for the most part, the most valuable lesson I learned, having been like a horrific beta in my younger years, fucking up every which way possible, is always being able to be willing to leave if you're not satisfied with her performance, and helping her to understand that I am here based on your performance. I'm not here just to be here, and I'm not dedicated enough to be here through a series of bullshit. Because I've seen so many guys completely unwilling to, detach from their woman or to move on. And then I've seen the end result of that, which is disastrous, which is a woman who has zero reason to not be hell on wheels.
There you go.
Because when they know that their man won't leave, there is zero incentive. I mean, not just lack of fear, but lack of respect and the idea that this guy's here every day and he's going nowhere. So we can be cool. I can respect him. We could have give and take and a back and forth, or I could set the fucking house on fire and he'll still be here.
Yep.
So that's the most important thing I've learned about respect.
Okay. Wow. Good answers, all of you. So everyone talked about respect, and I'll be the first to tell you, respect is absolutely the number one element when it comes to relationships of any kind with women. This is platonic relation. Well, you shouldn't have platonic relationships with women unless they're at work, at which point you still have to have her respect. But I'm going to talk about respect as number one. But when I say trust, now a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, wait a minute. It's just what Kevin said. Well, wait a minute. I don't want my woman to trust me, because she has to know that if she doesn't give me the ass, I'm going to go out and get it somewhere else. If my woman doesn't know that I can go out and replace her in just a few days, then she isn't going to have a healthy level of respect. That's not the kind of trust I'm talking about. The kind of trust that I'm talking about that you have to earn with your woman is she has to trust your decision making. And this goes directly to what EO said. EO said you have to trust yourself, and you have to, when you have trust and respect in yourself, in other words, you're a high value guy, right? Now, we've all been through some shit. I've done a couple of short stints in jail, and I've broken the law, and I've paid my debts to society. So I certainly know what not to do in terms of the legal and all this other kind of stuff. But when a woman meets you and she sees that you have your shit together, your lifestyle is an accumulation of all the decisions that you have made to that point. When you meet a woman, she knows she's not going to expect perfection, because that's ridiculous. But when a woman sees that you have your shit together, you're about your business, you're financially, you don't have to be rich, you have to be financially shrewd, you're in good shape, you're confident. Okay, this guy has himself together. And so I can trust him to lead me in the right direction. And I'll use my relationship as an example. The reason why Devin signed up without even thinking about it is that she saw my lifestyle. She knew about my track record. She said, okay, here's a guy who's been through some shit with women. He's done the most beta blue pill shit ever known to man, but this dude has owned 2 successful businesses. He has 7 rental properties in Las Vegas. Of course, I had to get rid of them because of the bubble and all that other kind of stuff. But Devin looked at me and knew that I had my shit together. And so when I told her, listen, if you're looking for a change, you're going to have to do what I say, when I say, and how I say it. Guess what? She did it. Why? Because she trusts me. She trusts that I'm going to make decisions that are best for not just her, not just for me, but for her. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't want to. Devin actually wrote me a letter. And I'm not going to get into too much of the details, but every once in a while, Devin will read this stuff. She'll read this. She'll write me a letter. It says, "Dear Alex," of course, because my name is Alex. "Last night I had a dream. We won the lottery, but somehow it was taken back. Something wrong with the game, but we played again, and this time we won so much money. It was over $60K a month for life. For some reason, it didn't say the total, just how much for life. No matter. It was fun. We were excited. I woke up this morning knowing I have already won the lottery more than once. Every time it counted, but this time it's for keeps. You gave me a second chance. I am the luckiest person in the world. I have 2 jobs now. Help you with your business and make you happy and add value to your life. Okay. She says, I love you and I need you in my life. You have made me a better person, a better girlfriend, a better sister, a better daughter. You have uncovered inside of me the motivation and discipline I have only wished to have, listening to Ray Lewis and motivational podcasts, wanting but doubting. I always wanted to be a better person. I knew it was inside of me. I did try to fake it at first, but it only took deep-rooted excavating and pulling out all the bad to see and plant the good in me. This is what I hope you will reap throughout the future. The good, the loyalty, the peace, the knowledge that you made the right choice in choosing me. This is a letter that Devin wrote to me probably about 2 weeks ago, just for no reason. The reason why, thank you. There was one more. Give me 2 seconds. So basically,
does she have a sister?
I was just about to ask.
God damn. Listen.
We on the same page today, Jeff.
She does have a sister, but her sister is a little on the hefty side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point is that Devin put her trust in me, and because of that, she is now happier. She's healthier. She's like, everything about her life is better because she trusted me. Now, you can't earn, like, there is no way that you can earn a woman's trust just by being a man. It doesn't work that way. You have to have a track record. You don't lead with your wallet and say, I accomplished this or that. But when a woman sees your lifestyle, again, that is an accumulation of the good decisions that you have made to get to the point that you have made. And that is how you earn a woman's trust. Before I read the super chats, does anybody have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to say I totally blacked out and didn't hear anything you said because I was so captivated by your moving camera.
No, what I want to say is that, a lot of women are intrigued by when a man is on a path and he does what he says he's going to do. When he dreams it and he does it. Devin's seen you do a lot of these things that you said you were going to do.
That's right.
And you've done them. So you're a man of your word, which is integrity. And she has something to compare and contrast what she's been through in her life. And you're improving her life by just being around her because you're something to admire in her eyes. Yep. So that's what that trickles into loyalty, but you already had the respect.
Yep.
She's given recognition, for
she's
and just reflecting back, because what I gathered from that letter is she's reflecting back on what life was like without you.
Wow. Yep.
And now that she has you, her life has improved tremendously. And she just wanted to make sure that which is that, man, I can't do nothing but respect that, because sometimes we improve the lives of the wrong women, and it goes unheard.
It does.
It goes unthanked. It's a thankless job. It's a lot of guys out here that got women through college, a lot of things, improved them, and they went on to be better for another motherfucker. But the way that you did it, can't do nothing but respect it. And she doesn't have nothing but respect for it because you didn't just give her it all. You made her earn. And she earned that respect. And
listen, I'll finish this off here.
So salute.
Yeah,
you know what? A real quick point, Donovan. I just want to say something that I saw in that. It's like Devin trusts herself again too.
Yep.
Okay. Like a woman, it's important that a woman trusts herself when she's with you, because if she doesn't trust in her abilities to adhere, to learn new things, to be an asset to the program, to be an asset to the relationship, or even just the man in general, she will sabotage herself in that situation and go back to something far easier. So it sounds to me like what Jab said is 100% true too, that she reflected on her past. And she's very grateful that she had a second opportunity, as the letter says. But what I hear too is a confident woman that now has a new belief in herself too.
That's right.
But that belief is a result of being under your leadership. So just keep this in mind, guys. If your women are insecure and partly due to your coaching, they could even be insecure. Like if you don't reward them, if you don't show a certain level of gratitude and even encourage them, and if they do something good for you, like make sure that they feel that they did something good.
Of course.
Make sure they realize that they were an asset to that situation, because if not, she will feel less than. And eventually, she will feel like she doesn't qualify to be in that situation, and she's gonna go back to a former life.
Listen,
rewards and punishments, baby. Rewards and punishments.
That's what it is, and I talk about that in my 5-part 7-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. Let me just read the last passage of this. So she says, "You know, you have changed my life in every way. I want to return the favor and give you peace and contentment. I want you to lay eyes on me and feel proud. I take my job to heal completely seriously in every way. I hope that together we can move forward with happy thoughts for the future. I want you to see the me that you created for you, not the broken, damaged me I once was, for I am no longer that person. I am not perfect, but I damn sure will try to be. You deserve that. You deserve my best every way. We have been through the test of time and hardship and have built together through it. I love you and I will stand by your side no matter what. I will represent you well in all situations. I make it my mission to reflect all the good that is in you. My will is to drive your desire, increase your ability to do whatever you set your mind to support you through the good, the bad, and more good. I love you, Alex, Eddie, Donovan, all of you. I know that we are better together and will be better than ever. You are an amazing man. I am so glad to have met you. Forever yours, Devoted." These are the words of a woman who is appreciative of, and the thing is this, man, like, okay, I had to set forth the plan, but I'm not taking all the credit. She had to want to do it. And in order for a woman to want to do it, she must have trust, she must have respect, and she must have admiration for you. I have taken Devin from what she was to who and what she is now, and honestly, she continues to get better. So, again, when a woman expresses that kind of gratitude towards you, this lets you know that you're probably doing it right. Janet L'Italian with the 50 Hong Kong dollars says, "If you do not face your fear, it will always rule you. That's why betas and blue pills are the majority, and that's why they resent winners who face theirs." Let me start with EO about about people, mainly men, who resent the winners who face their fears. Now, I'm pretty sure, EO, you probably get your share of criticism, or quote unquote criticism, and people will oftentimes they'll characterize criticism. Oh no, they'll characterize hate as criticism. They're basically talking shit about you. Why is it, do you feel? And again, I think this has to do with the fact that these men have never been able to get women to do what it is that we've been able, and we're not doing anything special. We're just acting like men. Why do you feel that men feel the need to go into comments and, oh, you're this and that, and basically troll us? Or is this really a deficiency on their part?
The first word that comes to mind is laziness.
Okay.
Most men that are trolls and haters are just simply uninspired and lazy and not living up to their full potential. So, initially I might look at a hater and say, that's a little bitch right there. Okay. But after I actually look at it for what it is, aside from, maybe ego, I see a miserable person sitting there. Yep. That's a miserable person that's not achieving, that's stuck, that's probably suffering from Great Depression, who's probably dealing with a lot of coping mechanisms that's eventually going to be very harmful to them. So, there's a certain level of empathy that I have for trolls and haters, because I realize that they look at me and they see what they're not.
Right.
Okay. And it's but it's not that looking at me is something like, don't look at me because you'll never be able to do what I can do, or what Hotep, BOA, Savo, and all the other esteemed gentlemen, but you'll never be able to do what I do because you're not me, and I'll never be able to do what you do because I'm not you.
Right.
But, so that's why BOA says this all the time. become the most alpha version of yourself.
Right.
What does it mean to be the best version of you and strive to do that? So, you know, at the forefront, I always look at a hater, a little troll or something like, look at this bitch right here, man. You know, and that's the first thing. I'm not gonna lie, that's the first thing. But then I'd ask myself, but you know that beneath all of that jealousy, envy, hate, you know, this criticism that's not even real. It's all a reflection of that person's inner well-being. They're uninspired. They're stuck, and they're quite frankly lazy.
Yep.
So I would just encourage anybody out there. You know, I have a lot of trolls. Believe it or not, I have quite a few,
Wow.
and they're very committed. I have. They are in it to win it, brother.
Man, I'm trying to tell you,
to troll. So you know, at this point, I've accepted it. But you know, gosh, I hope that something happens in your life that just wakes you up and you stop focusing on me or another man or even another woman.
Yep.
And you go out there and live your best life.
Listen, I think I hold the record before I go to BOA. I think I hold the record for the biggest and most motivated troll. Now, normally trolls are nobodies, but my troll happens to have almost 350,000 YouTube subscribers. And despite having almost 3 times the amount of YouTube subscribers, this guy just makes videos about me and my woman literally all the time. I suppose I should send him a thank you letter, but I'll probably get my attorney to do that. One that I can probably afford. All right, BOA, what you got for me, man? What do you think? What are your thoughts on trolls, haters? Is it just do they really hate us, or is it just a reflection of who they're not?
You know, I think there's a psychological issue with most trolls. I mean, I won't say trolls, but haters. Trolls are just trolls.
Sure,
you know,
right.
I'm almost trolls are fun. You know, they're fun too. Sometimes they troll in the comment, man. I'll respond to them and block them before they can respond back. You know, and just to leave them with that thought. Other times, man, I'll just let them ride. I say, man, you know, thanks for watching. It's my favorite thing to tell a troll. BOA, you suck. You talking that pimp shit. You're not a pimp. You're not anything. Thanks for watching.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, what else am I gonna say? You watch this video and you hate me. Appreciate it. But when it comes to a hater is simply someone who has keyed into a position where he thinks he should be. The problem is you're in that position. Now, he didn't put in the work to be in that position.
No, he
doesn't
did
have
not.
the knowledge to be in that position. Doesn't have the connections. Doesn't even have the demeanor necessary to invite the type of people that can help you move to that position. But for some strange reason in his mind, you're in his spot. What he doesn't understand is if you die today, somebody else is going to be in the spot. He'll never be in it. And so when I look at a hater, man, I just look at someone who feels like their time to be the best they can be has already passed them. If you notice, a hater is stuck in the same point in his life that he's been stuck in, man, for year after year after year. There's no progression. So no matter how far you progress, that same hater will keep being a hater in the exact same way.
Damn.
He has given up on his ability to grow. And I tell my guys all the time, don't stop growing. Because if your ass ain't growing, you're dead.
Wow.
Facts.
Holy shit, man. Jep, listen, you've got now a lot of your trolls and haters are just a bunch of bitches, right? Like, you don't have too many male
you know
haters,
what? I'm gonna be honest. We talked about it today, man. About the
here we
gender
go.
war and everything like that. I'm no longer dealing with women haters no more. Like they have died out. They've quit. They either gotten in now. They've either became great women of the alphabet community. They've got bypassed. They're living their best lives. They've actually gave up on hating on me because I'm correct.
Yes.
But I have devoted haters. I got trolls, but trolls are fun, like BOA say. But I have devoted haters, and these guys have a lot of time on their hands.
Yes.
They have nothing going for themselves. They study me to do the aha, to always catch you when you're at your lowest point. They're not really fans, but they are fans. Okay. And I would say this: the haters are validators. See, the haters let me know that I'm actually somebody. Because think about any celebrity, they wouldn't have security. They wouldn't be having people to back off the paparazzi. They wouldn't have people to what do you call those what do you call those people? Publicists and
Oh,
things
right.
to go against negative media, because if they didn't, they would not expect negative media because they're nobodies. Actually, it just lets me know that I'm somebody. So they really work really hard at trying to, tear down great work, and they bow that they try to tear down something that's greater than them. Really hard behind the scenes. They're up 2 a.m. editing videos, making little BS, and it never goes anywhere. It never goes anywhere. Wake up every day. I feel good that you have nothing going in your life, and I am your inspiration to wake up and do something for a damn change.
Wow.
So that's what it is, man.
Good stuff. Hotep. Now, I can't imagine you have too many haters, do you?
Oh my God!
Wow. Oh well, you actually talked about some of the political, the political stuff that goes on, because you're sort of banned from the right and then the left too, right?
Yeah, I'm not a native philosopher, so I probably have as many haters as Socrates has had. Here's the issue.
God damn.
Here's the issue. People who create nothing hate on people who do.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I'm gonna say that 2 more times. People who create nothing hate on people who do. People who create nothing hate on people who do. Why?
Real talk.
Why? Well, what's the difference between them and us? You see, when you're creating, you ain't got time to hate. You simply ain't got time.
Real talk.
I don't have time to be worried about what the next man is doing. Also, it's quite homosexual behavior,
isn't it,
to be worried about what another man is doing like that. It's like, bro, you could be anywhere in the world right now, and you're here trying to argue with me. That's bitch behavior.
Yes, it is.
Chasing behind another man to go argue with him. That's straight up bitch behavior. You could be with a woman. Why are you not with a woman?
Yes.
You know why you're not with a woman? Because you're here with me.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
But you here with me?
I would love to be getting laid, but Hotep Jesus is on right now, and I got some shit.
Right.
That's G to the Izzy.
That's the main issue here. Men, the thing that is going to attract the most women to you, and we've seen this a million times on this thing, is to be focused on your path. Be focused on your path and you'll get the women. If you were focused on your path, you wouldn't have time to hate and you have more chicks. Get your life together, haters.
I love it, man. That's definitely a Don DeMarco. Phone lines are now open. 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. That's an interesting thing. Listen, we'll just go open lines, talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. There's no question. Just tell the screener what you'd like to talk about, and we'll try to keep that as short as possible. Real quick before we go to Savo, Jashawn Harris says, tricking on my favorite YouTubers again. I'm naturally good with women, but where do I start with y'all content on building and managing a great rotation? As far as I'm concerned, I have a course out called How to Master the Game. Jashawn, you've super chatted quite a bit here lately. I'll go ahead and give that to you for free. Send me an email at tsr@donovansharpe.com and I'll go ahead and send that to you. That's a $267 value. Absolutely.
Can I answer that?
Say again?
Can I answer that question real fast?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, who else has anything on that?
I got a good answer for that too.
Okay, all right. So we'll go Hotep and then EO and then whoever else.
You don't manage your rotation. Your squad manages you. They got to figure out how to deal with you. You ain't got to figure out how to deal with them. You pick and choose when you put them in the game, right? But they have to earn that. Just like if I coach a team and a kid don't show up to practice,
right?
Well, guess who don't get in the game? You see what I'm saying? If they're not putting their best work forward, you got to reward your hoes. If they put in their best work forward, that's who you put in the game. Who's really out here trying hard in practice?
I love it.
If they trying hard in practice, they select themselves. You ain't got the work. You ain't got to do the work. You let them do the work. And you say, "Oh, I'm gonna reward you. You did a good job."
Yo, that was the comment of the night. You got to reward your hoes. Love that shit.
Hey, Don, did we hear Kevin on that last question?
Oh no, I totally.
Oh no, we skipped right over.
Yeah. So
go to Kevin.
Nah, you're good. You got me. Want to talk about the rotation now?
Okay. We'll go Savo and then EO on the rotation thing. What you got?
I'll just say this, man. From one young guy to any other young guys that are watching, I'll just give you a different spin on the rotation. Make sure when you're starting out building rotations, please make sure you don't spend too much time with any one of them, because I think some guys, I swear when guys are starting out, I think some of them think, as I thought when I was starting out building rotations, I swear some of them think that their attention is still divided evenly amongst two or three, even if they're spending excess time with one out of the three. And they think because of that, there still isn't an ability or a potential to build one-itis. Believe me, you could still build one-itis while having a rotation of 4 women. If you kind of make one your girlfriend, then there's a worst case scenario where you become attached to more than one. And then basically, instead of having a 3-girl rotation, you literally are dating 3 women. Now, imagine actually dating 3 women that didn't agree to it, and you've got the competition going. Dude, I've had 2 girls show up at the house at once. I've had girls fighting at the crib. It's actually been disastrous. And my brother used to make fun of me because he used to be like, dude, you watch AMS, you learned how to build a rotation, and now the rotation's here. Like, and you're fucked, like, because you did it all backwards.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They're here, they won't leave, they're breaking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, what Kevin said there was very important. Do not spend too much time with any one of them. Real quick before I go to EO, the way this works, it's mathematically simple. Never ever give one woman 100% of your sexual attention. This means you need to be fucking more than one girl, because if you have one girl in your rotation, she's getting 100%. You're going to develop one-itis. I don't care how tight your game is. If you have 2 girls, they both get 50% of your sexual attention. If you have 3 girls, 33. 4 girls, 25, 5 girls, 26, 16.6666667, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The more girls you are banging, okay, the less likely you are to be attached to any one of them. And again, you need to limit your time with each one of them, because there are going to be some girls in your rotation that you like more than others, right? But you have to be disciplined enough to spend equal time with all the girls to keep yourself from catching one-itis.
Right. Let me stick one last thing in there before we go to the next guy real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Another thing that's really important about that also, big mistake I think guys will start out with early on, make sure they're all equally attractive, because that is another thing about not still developing one-itis. In other words, still having a beta problem while you're trying to make an alpha move, is you've got, and I've done it in my earlier years, you've got your 8 and then you've got 2 6s. And you're like, oh, look at me, I got a rotation. Okay, well, what is going to tend to happen, and what's going to tend to the effect it's going to have on your mind is you've got this one really bad chick, and then you got like 2 half decent chicks in the background. You're still going to like kind of fall for the 8.
Of course.
It's they all got to be equally attractive, because then your attention is completely spread equally.
Wow. Sage words by the young Kevin Savo. EO, what you got on this, man?
You know what? My earbuds went out there. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, I think I got you coming through the computer here, so I hope there is. I'll be sure to mute.
No, we hear you perfectly, man. What you got?
You know what? This is something that I learned, and I'm gonna, and I love what Kevin said, and Hotep. I'm gonna kind of just provide a different perspective here. A lot of guys want to manage rotations when they're not managing the man well yet, and so the number one thing you want to manage first is the self. Okay, you can't even manage women if you don't manage the self. Okay, so I'm letting you know that if you don't know how to manage the big 3, mental, emotional, and spiritual self, you'll never ever be successful with any woman, especially a herd of them. So I just want to tell guys, how are you managing your finances? What's your credit score? Are you able to pay your own bills without ever needing a woman to come in to help you? This is what you need to be concentrating on. Sure, date in between. I would say when you're a young man in your 20s, they should be last on the list, but they should be on the list. But they should never come before your emotional health, your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. You should be visiting seminars. You should hire one of these men as a mentor. This is very important. So before you're over here trying to manage women, do you even got your own place yet? Now, that's not to say that's not to say, though, you can't have women without your own place. Sure. You most certainly can. But I'm going to advise, before you want to manage 1, 2, 3, 5 women, how are you managing the man in the mirror? And then once you start managing him exceptionally well, no one's perfect. You're never going to be 100% on anything. But as you get better, you're making good money. You're paying your bills on time. Your credit is good. Hey, no man can ever be confident with bad credit. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Real talk.
If you got a credit score 535, your confidence only lasts so long until you walk into an establishment or retail store to maybe try to get something. So manage that man in the mirror first. See women on the side while you're doing it. But once you start to see, I can live without them. I don't need them. It's my way or the highway. And why it's my way is because my way is the proven best way. See, until you can prove it to yourself, you can't prove it to her. Okay.
Wow.
So I just want to say that this is probably hard advice for a lot of men because they're like, oh, I don't want to do all that work. But in the end, you're gonna lose them anyway because you've lost you. You don't have you. And so in order to have them, you got to have you.
Very good.
Let me chime in on that right
now. Real quick, we'll go BOA and Jap, and then after that, we'll read super chats. Then we'll go to Cody in New Orleans, who's on the line. Go ahead, BOA.
You know, I think one of the main problems that young guys have is they don't understand that if you're young and you're dating, all you're getting is sex.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna throw a pimp principle in here.
Okay.
Pussy ain't worth no cash unless it's bringing it to you.
Real talk.
Now your time is worth cash.
Yes.
Your effort and energy is worth cash. The skills that you learn are worth cash. So all of those things are automatically worth more than the woman because all you're getting from the woman at that point is that one thing. Don't want more from her than that because then your ass going to be caught up in a relationship, and a broke dude has no business trying to give his effort and energy to a damn relationship, man. They're too demanding, and you just don't have the energy, and you'll have nothing left because there's only a certain level of respect a woman is going to give a man who doesn't have his shit together. And I think a lot of you men fall into this, well, I'm going to build with the woman. No, hell you're not.
No.
Trust me on that. You're going to build with the woman, and she's going to flee with the shit. That's the only way it's going to happen. A woman doesn't build with you. A woman helps you build what she's going to fucking flee with. Wow. I just want you men to know that shit. So don't just stay away from it, man. Always prioritize the things in your life. Like Eo was just saying, prioritize everything in your life and don't deviate from the plan that you know is going to put you where you need to be. Unless you just want to be a beta male simp man, John the motherfucker.
well, we ain't trying to be that. Jap, what you got, man?
Man, I've always talked about this situation as far as having a rotation. It's a beautiful thing when you got your thing in order and everything like that. But and like on my Patreon, I have a video called how to choose your side chicks.
Okay.
And another one that another principle that I live by, I tell guys, stop letting side chicks catch main bitch feelings. That comes with time.
Okay.
Hold on. Whoa. You can't glaze over that point.
Do it.
And this comes with time. And I tell people that love usually equates to time. You'll fall in love with somebody you never thought you would ever be in love with because you've been around them too much.
That's right.
A lot of people don't understand that rotations have a lifespan. They have an end date.
Yes.
And
yes.
if you keep these women, I've had side chicks that lasted 3 girlfriends. She still was a side chick.
God damn.
Like, damn. And I found myself like, man, I love you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you have got to understand that you cannot have these women in rotation for too long. They have a shelf life. They got to get traded. You know what I'm saying? They got 2-year contracts, 1-year contracts. Some of you guys have a rotation going on. Now you got 3 girls in love with you because you got all of this time, all of these things and events that have happened, all of these guys that she has put on the back burner, hoping to get the main spot. This is when shit gets real. Cars get keyed.
Yes.
Windows
Sabotage.
get broken. Emotions are flaring because you've been in it too long. So you got to understand that it has a shelf life for the rotation. See, some people think you're not going to have a rotation for 5 years.
No, hell no.
Anybody who tells you that has never been in this shit. They're lying. Your rotation lasts 6 months, if that, because it's always while you're playing games with a broad and you know you playing up position. She still got some dude named Lance at her job that's with her. And
Lance.
the moment, and she's gonna say, and this is the thing that you guys don't understand, because I've been there. They don't never talk about that. You get that call that say, "What are we doing?
Oh boy.
What are we?"
Yes.
How do you respond?
Oh,
You
now,
just
Jack.
my side bitch. And if you tell her she just a side bitch, then she out. But if you blasé with her, she'll stick around, and then she's going to go crazy on your ass for the guys that she turned down, because she only brought that up because somebody came up.
Well, I'll tell you
And her
this.
wife said, I want you, and he is playing with you, and I see that. But
Well,
you want him, and he don't want you back.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jap. I actually answered this on the video. And Cody in New Orleans, I'm going to get to you here in just a second. The whole, well, what are we? What are we doing? What are the titles? There are many, many different ways to handle that. Aussie with the 20 Australian dollar super chat says, good selection of the 6, Mr. Sharpe, reflected in a much more nuanced discussion than many other call-in shows. Appreciate that. Jonathan Avila with the $100 super chat says, value for value. Appreciate that very, very much. Michael Matroke IV with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Alchemist 2.0 says, Donovan, what do y'all think about the Travis Scott thing? Will you do a video breakdown on it? Seemed demonic to me. We'll talk about the Travis Scott thing right at the end of the show. I will be doing a video breakdown of that. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Dung is fun. Interesting. $5 says, I see haters as another expansion of a talking point. Use their hatred of you for more content. And with that, let's go to Cody from New Orleans, who has a comment about haters and trolls. Cody in New Orleans, you're on Live at the 6. What you got?
Hey, what's that, y'all? What's that? I'm from New Orleans, bro. What's going on with y'all, bro?
Not too much, brother. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm great. I'm just getting through doing other, far as trying to apply for a job working at the hospital, because, I just recently got my certification as a medical assistant. So,
oh, good.
I'm trying to get out of the Popeyes, so you know what I'm saying. And I totally concur with y'all says, because, I get that sometimes too, but at the end of the day, I always prove them wrong by my actions. And they be the main ones asking me for something. So, and I be like, man, at first you called me a lame. You called me this. You called me that. But at the same time, I tell them, bro, this dude I work with, he's 20 years old. Dude, I'm 40. I'm twice your age. So, I told him, man, you don't even have the discipline nor the mental capacity like I do, bro. So before you even get on that level and talk about lame, you better start respecting me, man,
So a 20-year-old dude calls you a lame dude?
Yeah.
How many baby mamas does he have?
You don't got nothing going on for him, so.
I mean, this is a perfect time to understand when certain people don't count. If you don't have, like with me, when I deal with my haters, when I look at my haters, if you don't have a foreign call, you don't count. If you don't have a home or mortgage, escrow, anything, you don't count. You don't got $10,000 liquid right now that you could just show me something. You don't count. If your credit score ain't 700 to 800 right now, you don't count. If you got babies by 2-3 different raggedy ass bras and they look like motherfucking Precious in the face.
Oh, no.
Nail Carter, give me a break, looking ass bitches in the face. You don't count. If you're overweight, you don't count. You know what I'm saying? If your mind was pushed back to slavery, you don't count. If your breath smells like like a Cook County morgue,
oh my God!
None of these people count to me. Like, the problem is you motherfuckers make the weakest people in the world count to you and matter.
Yeah, man.
Certain people in their whole situation don't matter. They don't count, and you just gotta be amused by them. I'm amused by my haters because they don't measure up. They can't even get into a circle of men like us who are on a path, who can talk about. When I sat down with Hotep, we didn't talk about where the bitches at. None of that. You know what we talked about? QuickBooks. How can I manage my finances as an entrepreneur and make sure I don't get raped in the ass in taxes?
Real talk.
We have different conversations. So certain conversations are for dumbass people and certain people don't count. When you're around the bosses and the real people, that's what really counts. So you keep elevating. You go get more and more certifications. Elevate. Get your ass out of Popeyes. Because ain't nobody in the Popeyes count.
Well, listen,
Let me slip in a point on this when you get a chance to come around to me.
Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, Kev. You got it. I'll go after Kev.
I want to make sure that people don't confuse something about haters, though. I feel like when Cat Williams started talking about, you need haters, man, you need to get 300 more haters by the summer, it was really appealing to a lot of people who have haters, but simultaneously have fucking nothing going on.
Yes!
But now they had this newfound idea that, like, man, everybody hates me or everybody tells me I ain't shit. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you actually ain't shit. Like, you actually have nothing going on in your life. So I don't like the fact that the You Need Haters slogan and the You Need Haters t-shirts was given to lift up the self-esteem of a lot of people that don't have much going for themselves, but simultaneously for the people that do have things going for themselves, and that's the reason they get hate. I think the game has changed in life when it comes to hate. I've noticed that back in the day, remember people used to beat up short kids and retarded kids and kids that were defenseless, and that's what bullying was? I've noticed that once you come around to my generation, now it's dudes wanting to hit the biggest guy in school, or they're wanting to knock down the biggest dude in the club because that would up their ego. They want to hit the most confidence dude. They want to fuck with the most confident people.
Wow, I've never
It just seems like that's the new target. You make yourself more of a target when you're living good, because someone that's not goes, damn, you want to save some ego and some self-confidence for the rest of us? Like, why you get to be living so good? Why do you get to be feeling so good?
Well, I'll tell you what,
That's true.
and I'm as guilty as giving haters oxygen as anyone. And this is just something that I've had to work on through the years. But to answer the question that you asked, Kevin, is why do you get to live so good? Why is your life so good? Well, because I put in the time. Because I work 14 to 6. Well, I'm supposed to be working 12 hours. Because I work 100 hours a week doing what I do. You see, a lot of people, and I'm going to circle this back. I'm going to circle this back to women when it comes to respect. Getting the respect and adoration and trust of a woman, it's not easy unless, of course, you have that for yourself. When men see, and it's funny, you guys have all seen that motivational poster where it's a body of water, and above the water there's like a little bit of an ice cap, and then underneath it's like this huge glacier. It says success and then everything on the bottom. So what these guys see is they see us being successful in life. They see us being successful with women, but they don't, and it's funny, they refuse to see all the hard work that comes into that. Well, what ends up happening is they think, well, wait a minute, Donovan is just like me. He always tells me that there's nothing special about him, so why is he where he's at? And the answer is exactly what EO said, because you're fucking lazy. Listen, man, every person with a Y chromosome has what it takes to do exactly what us 6 do. We're all from different ages and different generations, but one thing that we all have in common is that we're not afraid of our masculinity. Men who are afraid, and it's funny because men who hate on us would never talk to women the way they talk to us online. Now, out in public, they would never talk to us the way they talk to us online. It is what it is. But what it really comes down to is men who really, really hate on us, they have never had the respect and the trust and the adoration of a woman. And they think that we're playing some sort of mind games or some sort of witchcraft or some sort of trickery. No, we had to take the long way just like you. The difference between you and me is that I decided to stay the course. Now, was there a little bit of luck involved with me getting to where I'm at? Well, of course. Luck equals opportunity plus preparation. But that's just it. You must have the opportunities and you must be prepared. You can only prepare yourself. You can only be prepared if you are continuing to prepare yourself. And I'll leave it like this. No one should ever get into street fights. I've been in more street fights than I care to admit. They're stupid. I'm lucky to be fucking sitting here right now. But I will tell you this, when it comes to imminent physical confrontation, there are two kinds of men out there. There are men who get ready and men who stay ready. You understand what I'm saying? Those of you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, when it comes to dealing with women, there are men who have to get ready, and then there are men who stay ready. So in any time a woman disrespects you, you know exactly what to do. Quick story, and I've told this on the show before. Devin and I think we were flying in from Miami or Detroit. It was a long flight. We got delayed. She was tired. I was tired. We were both cranky. We grab our luggage, and I start going up the escalator to go to our car. And I get halfway up the escalator, and Devin yells in a crowd of people, "Donovan, you're going the wrong way." Right? This is in front of everybody. So my woman just disrespected me in front of everybody. Now, Men who have to get ready say, okay, well, what would a red pill do? Well, fuck you, I'm going my way, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to clown me. No. I stay ready because this is who I am. I said very calmly, I was boiling underneath, but I said, you go your way and I'll go mine. I continued up the escalator and walked straight to the car, she right behind me. Then when I got her to the car, I said, don't you ever disrespect me like that in public. I said, I told her, I said, fuck what you heard. You keep that shit to yourself. If you think I'm going the wrong way, then just fucking go the way you want to go. The point is that I had the requisite control and the knowledge to stay ready to deal with the situations as they come. Men who are our haters, they have what it takes. They're just not willing to do what it takes to get there. And so in the end, guys, yeah, we can't give oxygen to haters, but it's just like Jap said. I mean, they have to be amusing to us. I've actually hired someone to go through my comments because I just don't have time to go through the comments anymore.
Let me drop it.
Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
Just a quick down.
Yes, sir.
Man, here's what you men have to understand. And I know these guys can say the same. A lot of women who respect me the most are women who are not in my life.
Woo! Yes, sir.
There was that opportunity to take my instruction. But the broad decided she wanted to try the shit again. And she was gone. So now she's living the rest of her life saying, damn.
See that?
That's a man of his word. And she's trying to find that again. And here's what you men have to understand. Become a man of your word. Become a man of honor. Become a man of self-respect. Become a man of self-value. Become the most alpha version of yourself. And you automatically put yourself above damn near all the other men who are around you. Because too many men are willing to compromise themselves for women, for money, for fame, for notoriety, for respect, for whatever they think they can get. Right. They'll compromise themselves. And if you compromise yourself for one thing, you compromise yourself for any damn thing.
Wow. Anybody have anything else to add?
Yeah, you know what? That was awesome. I want to say something real quick
go ahead.
that I've discovered about haters. Here's what I do on my channel. I know everybody's different. Once I detect a hater, because I'm all for a contrasting opinion as long as you know how to deliver it. A real man can disagree with me, but be respectful about it.
Of course.
But a little bitch is gonna be hating. So what? I don't even give it any energy because I want to let you know something right now. As funny as that list was, and as funny and as true as that list was, that Jap said down below, that shit was probably the highlight of the night.
That was great.
As funny as that is. If you tell a hater any of those things, it doesn't bother them.
No.
Okay, because they've already, as a matter of fact, that'll fuel them even more when you tell them what they are. Okay,
because they already know.
So,
right?
so the best thing to do is show them that they don't qualify to be around you. So just remember, and if you do this with women, you do this with women too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at this time, you don't qualify to be in my presence. So if there's an opportunity later and there's a spot open, maybe we'll entertain it. Probably not. Same thing with a hater, family member, a friend that loses their mind, anybody. Okay, business partner. When someone doesn't qualify to be around you, you just eliminate them. So when I see a troll or a hater come in my comment section, I say nothing. I just instantly block them.
Right.
Wow.
Instantly.
Right.
You
know what it comes down to? This word called access.
Yes. Oh my God.
Access.
Dude.
I don't allow people to have access to me that have not deserved it.
That's right.
In order to hang with me, you got to be a VIP.
Real talk.
That's right.
You got to have VIP access. And see, when you don't grant, when everybody has general admission to your time, and you don't have a VIP section, you get used and abused.
That's right.
And not only that, you lower the value of your establishment.
That's right. That's right.
Right? You're just Popeyes. You're not, the elite club. You're
not Chick-fil-A.
In Vegas or Miami,
right.
Or LA, where there is only VIP to get in here. You see what I'm saying? You have to have a certain level of access to you, and that barrier. If you have general admission, you lower your value. In order to increase your value, you have to have a VIP section. So that's what I do. Nobody has general admission. There is no general admission to Hotep Jesus. You either display yourself to be a very important person, or a very intelligent person, and then you may have access to me.
There you go.
A very informed person may have access to me, right? But if you're not a VIP, you don't have access to me. It's just that simple.
Yeah, the more
Let
scarce
me
you
add
are,
something to
the
that,
more
Donovan.
valuable you're. Oh, go ahead, BOA. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, and I wasn't ever gonna speak on this publicly, man. I'm not gonna say ever, but I hadn't planned on it.
Let's do it.
But what Hotep just said, man, leads me into this. If you have not got on your grind and put in the work necessary,
There it
you
is.
can't hate on a man who says, well, get your weight up before we collaborate.
There you go.
That's just what it is. Every man on this panel has put his work in.
That's
Man,
right.
I don't know who's been here the longest, man, Jap or YouTube. You know, Jap has had 1,000 channels, but he's a man who every time he's had a channel shut down, he's back doing it again.
Every time.
They couldn't stop him. So you mean to tell me that you have the right to get offended because Jap says, well, this collaboration kind of has to benefit me?
Right.
Hell, if I come to you and you say that, I'm like, okay, man, I'll get back when I get right.
There you go.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm
how it
saying?
works, man.
Now I'm grinding because I'm like, okay, at least I know if I get right, he's with it.
But see,
Right.
it's about using each other, but not misusing each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we
Right.
like the people who we, want to collab with, or who who we charge or whatever like that. It's the thing. It's not you spend more money on these bitches and dumbass shit. This is an investment into something that I'm investing in. So let's just break bread. It's just like the music game, anything like that.
Of course.
Like
of course.
it's people who done paid for features, and then next thing you know, these people are working with each other. Now there's no feature needed. Now they're swapping out. It's just the business of it. When you're doing business, but you gotta understand, like, we take this serious. We have infrastructure, we got equipment, we got everything,
Yes.
we got lights, we got all that. Like, we're not doing this for play like that.
Right.
We have an actual fan base.
Yeah, these aren't hobbies. Like, this ain't a fucking hobby.
We've gained, we've lost friends. We've gained new friends. I've gained new friends who do this, and I've lost friends I've grew up with.
That's all right.
Based upon my views.
Hit the church button.
This is what so this is what comes with
Church.
your success is gonna take a shot at you.
That's right. That's right.
Just like they say. So that's what comes with haters. You lose family members. Everybody look at you crazy. People looked at me crazy when I said, hey, I'm a conservative, man. It turns into crazy
you don't even
conversation.
know.
So again, man, people got to understand. Just support. You spend less, and we ain't breaking people over the head and nothing like that, man. But you understand, we got to keep this thing going if we gonna stay in business.
Real
It's
talk.
got to be worth it to both of us. If we just run around here just sacrificing, spending all our money, building our clout up, building our name up, and just give it away and just put everybody on, and then we don't get nothing back. So when I fall, you ain't got your brother back.
Yeah, it's I don't want to call it quid pro quo. It's just a mutually beneficial relationship. I think that's fair to say. Cadet X, welcome to chat privileges, along with Maury, if you guys would. At Cadet X and at Maury to welcome them to chat privileges. Cody Marshall with the $2 super chat says thanks for the advice. He's the guy that called in. Jashawn Harris, $20 at email sent. I appreciate y'all's gems. 28 years old, first year full time in my business and scaling filmmaker. Started YouTube. Fitness, my passion. No kids. These girls want my man meat. I'm talented, but want to develop skills from y'all. Appreciate that, Jashawn. The course is in your email. I responded during Jap's disqualification list. RT Engineer, $25, says, shout out to the panel. Good game. Joe Abundance. So this will be the last question of the evening with the $10 super chat. He says, if someone disrespected you back before you became a better version of yourself and they are used to that old version, how do you set them straight to respect the new, more alpha version of you? Joe, I can tell you right now, you're probably talking about a woman. And if you're not talking about a woman, please correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of men make this mistake. When men find this community and they actually take to heart what we talk about, they make the improvements. They want to go back and impress the girl that curbed them 2 or 3 years ago. They want to go back and win back the girl who cheated on them last time. How can I get the girl to respect a more alpha version of me? You don't need to do that. You absolutely don't need to do that. Because here's the thing. Thanks to the advent of social media, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, she's going to find out that you are now kicking life's ass. Listen, man, you do not go back and root through the trash. If you dumped her or she dumped you, that relationship is over, and it always will be over. Does anybody else have anything to add to that?
I'll go ahead and jump on
BOA,
it since he wants to talk about the most alpha version of himself.
Let's do it.
Rule number one to becoming the most alpha version of yourself is you have to embrace the fuck what they think mentality.
There it is.
Like you shouldn't even be thinking about what some broad from the past thought of you. As whatever, you got to go back and look at everything that you've gone through that you can't let go of. It's because your ass hadn't found the lesson in it yet.
Ooh,
find the lesson in it. The lesson is some people are gonna want you to be what the hell they want you to be, and if you're not that, then you know you have two choices. Either you change and try to become that, or you say, okay, like Hotep said, you don't belong in my fucking life.
No,
then.
sir.
But you have to understand that who you are right now, you're not even the same person.
Right.
So fuck everything that happened before that. You had a Christian say born again Christian. If I had, damn, I wish I was right there with you, Jeff, so I could point at you, man, so you could give me that. So, Christians always talk about being born again, and that's one concept that I truly believe. You can strip down the old man, but you got to strip down the caring shit. Like, why do you even care about what a woman from the past, or even a guy from the past, or any of that? Because here's the thing. They're not even going to understand who the fuck you are right now. And anybody from the past, they're going to look at you the way they always looked at you. You know, if there was a guy who used to take your fucking lunch money, unless you go back and beat the shit out of him, and why you want to do that? He's always going to him, you're always going to be the guy whose lunch money he used to take. Right. But hopefully, if you've elevated to the most alpha version of yourself, you're not even around those people anymore, bro. Forget that, bro, or that dude, man. You know, fuck them. Fuck what they say.
Real talk. Anybody else before we close it out?
You know, I'll say this real quick. Typically, like, I stopped drinking. I used to be a binge drinker. I didn't drink every day, but, you know, when I made a lot of money or I had a good week financially, I would go reward myself and go turn up, get some bottles, and put a dope-ass suit on and, you know, get a bunch of new women in the rotation and shit. But once I decided to become this coach that I am, I had to put a lot of those destructive habits away, because who am I to be helping other men become the best version of themselves as well, if I'm not the best version of me in progress, or if I haven't even killed my bad habits yet.
Right.
So I stopped drinking. Right. I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore. I don't even go to bars because that environment doesn't resonate with me.
Okay.
The last time I went to a bar, I only went in, I think during the day to pick up some food. It was takeout, and I'm sitting there looking at, you know, men wearing their elbows out, and they're just staring like at the TV, but they're not even looking at the TV. They're thinking of everything they should have done. They're thinking of everything that all the missed opportunities, and it's like, I'm too old now. I can't turn back the hands of time, and I don't want to be that man. I'm 41. I'll be 42 next month. So any friend that I had or any woman that I had in the past, if she looks at me, she's probably not going to be attracted to me because I am no longer a reflection of her.
Ooh,
okay,
wow.
So you got to know that right now.
Yes,
when people look at you, this new and improved version of you, what they can no longer see themselves in you. Okay, you got to understand the psychological and emotional side of that. So instead of caring about that, you have to understand, you know, many men here talk about being red pill, but if you talk to them long enough, they ain't red pill at all.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because it's that greater understanding of human nature and what happens, the inner mechanics of the psychology, that everything that happens in the midst of transition. So when I see somebody of the past, I already know they will not see themselves in me, and I will not see myself in them. And I accept that. So you have to accept that and look at that as a positive thing. As I left the bar, I didn't criticize those men sitting there. Sure. I'm not going to say they're wrong or right. I have a certain level of empathy for them, because I know that any man that's sitting there at the bar routinely, wearing out their elbows, taking shots, drinking, and this is my opinion, and I hope it doesn't sound judgmental, but this is my opinion. And I used to be a big drinker. Every time I was out there drinking a lot, there was always this voice inside saying, "What are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? Spending your money, destroying your body, being here till 3 a.m. You got to work tomorrow. you got to get home, man. There was that champion was always there calling me, like, come over here. And when you come over here, it's gonna be a little lonely, but you're gonna pick up BOA. You're going to pick up Donovan Sharpe. You're going to pick up Hotep and all the other men. You will pick up some other men that are in your lane, this new lane. So I just want you to know that, guys, that when you see someone in the past, they're not seeing themselves in you anymore. That's why they're not attracted to you.
You attract what you are.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, if you're a winner, you're going to attract winners, or at least people who want to do what it takes to win. Uncle Guns with the $10 super chat. Wow, well said, EO, and then fucking Hotep with the exclamation point. Says, I knew this would be a season for the history books, and this panel of genuine men make it so. Hard work, dedication, accountability, and respect. Salute. I appreciate that very much. Fantastic show. Let's go around the panel to give your final thoughts on this, and then tell the people where they can find you. Let's start from the back. Let's go Sabo first, man. What you got?
The final on the overall subject, or where we were just at?
No, I mean, whatever you want to comment on, the overall subject or where we were just at. It's up to you.
I'll just add one point onto that, especially for young guys.
Okay.
I think if you want to try to go back to the girl that, you fucked up with when you were beta, because now you have a new perspective and you're like, I'm red pill now, so now I can do it right. You're not starting anything new. I guess the main thing is you're not starting anything new for yourself, or you're not taking on the perspective that's like, fuck these hoes, let me get on some whole, let me get in a whole realm of self-improvement. You're just like, I learned a few new tricks, and let me go back and see if I can kind of rewrite my past. Right. And I think likely, especially if you're young enough and you're not working on yourself, I think likely you'll just like fall for that girl all over again and fuck yourself up all over again. So I definitely don't advise doing that. But great panel tonight as always. I'm definitely always a student when I'm in here with you guys. You can find my sitcom, The Adventures of Sabaho. You can find my Red Pill music, The Fellas. The song is Stop Mommies. And that's that, fellas.
In the
Thanks
club,
for having me on
she
tonight.
gonna need a babysitter. Hotep, what you got, man?
On the subject of respect, women are going to judge you based upon your resolve.
That's right. Bingo.
How do you act during moments of adversity? And you will be tested. And your first test is going to come very quickly. And it's a very minor test. Okay. It's going to come down to, what restaurant should we eat at? What movie should we watch?
That's all right.
What should we do? There's going to be a point where she's going to defer to your leadership, and that is your first test. Now, what is it that's going to lose respect or gain respect? One thing you have to understand with a man, man-female dynamics, it's not about what you do. It's about what you don't do.
Okay.
Once you scored the date with the woman, you already won. She's already thought of, from sex to marriage. She's already qualified.
Absolutely,
you're there.
yes,
you already won. You don't have to impress her any further. You've already impressed her.
You won.
You won. You already won. So, but what's the one thing that's going to make a woman run away and lose respect for you? And that is neediness.
Wow.
Needing something from a woman is going to deter the woman. Asking for something from the woman. Don't want anything from that woman. Nothing.
Okay.
And from there, she's going to go, wow, I have to respect this dude because every other dude is asking me for this, that, and the third. And that's how you get respect. I'm Hotep Jesus, co-founder of menofwater.com. Make sure y'all check us out.
Very good. Very well said, Hotep. Jap, what you got, man?
Man, I'm always going to tell my young guys out here, man, chase your dreams, because the biggest setback in your life is believing in a bitch.
That's real talk.
And don't be in a situation where you push back your dreams and you offset things to include or appease the feelings of this bitch, because these bitches walk in with an exit plan. We never do.
That's right. Woo! Wow.
And that's why, like with the last episode, the first episode of this season when I was on, when we talked about men loving, we actually really love.
Yes.
Because they come in with an exit plan. We stick in there when you're fat, you got cancer, your breath stink, your hair falling out. When a woman loses her job, what do? We step up and we be men.
Right.
Yeah.
When we lose our job, they step off.
Yep.
So I want you guys to put yourself in a position where you want a bitch but don't need a bitch.
Okay. Okay.
And that would be where you're most happy and you'll be a boss. And the pussy is there. These women today, we're in thought culture, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Thought culture, which means these women are easy like a Sunday morning. I'm Minister Jap. Follow me on all social networks. Minister Jap Church on Instagram. Minister Jap Church on Facebook. Minister Jap will be live tomorrow. We're going live with the concept that we did today, which was a classic. Black women have started the gender war against black men. We're doing part 2 tomorrow morning. You don't want to miss it. It was going to be a 6-hour lecture today, but I had to calm y'all down because the heat was too much on the oven. Blessings to y'all.
Hashtag you don't count. Hashtag you don't count. BOA.
You know, I want to say this, man. Just sticking to the becoming the most alpha version of yourself and not looking back. What you may have to understand is elevation is a one-way road.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Becoming the best version of yourself is a one-way road. The most alpha version, the best version, self-improvement, you know, like growing your money, building anything is a one-way road. You have never seen a motherfucker build a building downward. Even the upside down Ripley, believe it or not, museum building, they built the bitch upward. They just built it upside down.
Right.
Anytime you take a look back, you don't know where the fuck you're going because your body's still moving forward, but you're falling off your fucking path. If you can't see it, you can't be it. And looking in the past, man, that's like closing your fucking eyes because you can't even see the past. It's a figment of your imagination. Focus on what you need to focus on. Keep building yourself, man, because I'll give it to you like this and then I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Live every day like it's your last because one day your ass gonna be right.
Damn.
Y'all find me on IG, book _of_ alpha running me. Look me up on YouTube, book of A. I'm the top book of A on this motherfucker, so you ain't even got to type in the rest.
Boom.
To my esteemed panel, I appreciate y'all, man. It's always a blast coming on here doing this, man. And hey, man, look, I'll see y'all next week, man. I'm looking forward to it already.
All right, real talk. Well said, BOA. EO.
Yeah, so I just want to say this was a great show. It's really an honor to be around these men. The amount of experience on this panel is tremendous.
Yeah, it's
and it's nice to be around people. We're all going in the same direction, and I really appreciate that. One thing I'll tell men that I do is that, or that I suggest you do that I do, is that to fall in love with life as you see it. Okay. Watch the movies you love and really enjoy them. Eat at the restaurants you enjoy. Visit places that make you happy and that teach you something. Do everything you do because you want to do it. I want every woman in your life to see you laughing. Okay, I want every woman to see you putting on a dope ass suit and not asking her opinion and just be like, damn, this motherfucker looks fly. I'll take 2. Okay, I want, if you want to drive a nice car, don't do it for her. Do it because when you sit in that seat and you hit the gas, it just shows you all the work you put in, but it's also an exhilarating experience. Do everything for you. This is why I put in my book, and I'm gonna continue to say this: romance every facet of life. Every facet, not just the woman. Romance everything. Even romance other species outside of the human species.
Okay.
You know, try to respect all things, because remember, if you respect yourself, you respect all things to some degree. If you don't respect yourself, you'll find yourself disrespecting things outside of you. And so women really notice these things. It's not so much what you do for her, it's what you do for yourself that she notices.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll stop with that. I'm Coach EO. All you got to do is type that in, Coach EO. I do have a website where you can learn more about me, championgamecoaching.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Coach EO has the best apparel game on the entire panel. That is going to do it. He really does. That is going to do it for this, the third. I think this is the third or fourth. I think this is the third episode of season 5 of The Six. We will see